Time to liven up the joint.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today's video we are doing our patented top 10 figure of the year watch list. Now if you've never seen one of these videos, I basically think of top 10 figures that could be considered possibly for figure of the year. I normally do this kind of like a halfway point every year. I've been doing this for the last like 3 years, I believe. And sometimes those figures do maintain the top 10 list, but I feel like with each and every year there is more crazier, or each and every month I would say, and there's more crazier figures that come out, that sometimes figures do get bumped off the list, or figures just stay number one. And most of the time I do these because it's basically for like information. You know, people like might be on somebody's radar, or they were probably on the fence about this figure, and then they said, you know what, I need that in my collection. So I like to do these top 10 videos. They're always fun to always make the list as well. We got a lot to get to. Now, I don't remember last year's. Also, I should mention the rules of how I, basically how I label these top 10 figures for this year. So it doesn't go by announced; it goes by when the figure was released. Like for instance, if a figure was announced back in 2010, but then the figure came out in 2023, well, it, it falls in for 2023 because that's when we finally got the figures in our hands. I know it's kind of like a slippery slope, but that's how I always did it. So there is that. But anyways, guys, let's go ahead and go down the list. Now I do got two honorable mentions. I didn't try to make too much honorable mentions. These are two figures that could have made the list. They had just slightly missed it, and I was debating whether to put these ones in, but I think my top 10 list is solid. Now, I want to remind you that this is my top 10 list. Your list might be different from mine. So please be respectful if you're going to comment down below. Because trust me, in the past, I had people, be disrespectful about it. Once again, this is my top 10 list. My list is definitely going to be different from yours. So if a figure that you love is not on this list, well, sorry, go down in the comment section and put me on notice then, so there's that. Anyways, guys, a figure that came out this year that I wanted to put in the top 10 list because he is freaking awesome, but he just barely missed it, and that is the Gladiator Batman. From the DC Multiverse, McFarlane Toys. I wanted to put him in the list so bad. He is freaking awesome. Just his whole design. I love the axe that he comes with. He just looks badass. I would love if Premium Mayfax or Mesco or somebody make him with the soft goods. Like, that would be freaking awesome. I just love like his whole design. He just looks freaking sick as well. But he had just barely missed out on the list. And then one that is just recently unboxed, and honestly, he definitely could have made the list. But I just didn't deliberate enough for him, which is the Super Saiyan Trunks from S.H.Figuarts. This figure is awesome. The purple hair version is awesome as well. I highly recommend picking this bad boy up. He definitely might stay tuned for end of the year. He definitely might make the list, without a doubt. So there is two of my honorable mentions. I definitely had more. I just wanted to keep it short this time around. Because trust me, these previous videos, I definitely could go down a lot. So there is that. Now let's go on to the official top 10 watch list for figures for 2023 figure of the year list. Number 10 is one that I wanted. I deliberated so bad between this one and the Gladiator Batman about whether to put this one in. And I just had to put in the Kingdom Come DC Multiverse Batman. I just had to put him in my top 10 list. It's one of my favorite figures that got released this year. Articulation is absolutely freaking horrible. But as far as design wise, He just looks freaking amazing. Just the whole like design of the bat wing, and then or just the wings. I would say bat wings, same stuff. Um, and then here is the back. I mean, here's the front with the white eyes. He just looks freaking amazing. And like I said, the only thing that prevents him from being higher on the list and almost being taken off the list is definitely articulation. But as far as anything else design wise, he is freaking awesome. Then Kino Comes, one of my favorite comic runs of all time, so I definitely had to put him in there. I definitely could have taken off him for Gladiator Batman, but I think either or would be perfect in anybody's top 10 figure of the year list. Now let's go on to our number 9, which is one that definitely could have been higher, and I would put S.H.Figuarts Black Adam. He is freaking amazing. I just love his whole design. He looks like The Rock. He has the soft goods as well. I think Figuarts did an amazing job on him. He has the wide eyes as well. He could have definitely been a little bit higher. I think the lack of accessories and the white on the eyes, it could have been brought out just a little bit more. But other than that, he is a awesome figure. Highly recommend picking this bad boy up as well. I mean, I highly recommend picking up all of them, but if you hear me say that a few times, that's just, I don't know, it's a problem that I have as well. Going on to my number 8, and that is uh, one that I deliberated to put him a little bit higher, um, but the other ones just beat him out, and that is Super 7's Goldar from Power Rangers. He is freaking amazing. I absolutely love this figure. I think it's a figure that no one really is talking about because of that first wave was not really that, or not the first wave. Well, the first wave of the Power Rangers with the Green Ranger in there. Everybody stopped talking about it because of how the horrible the head sculpt was for. And you know what? The head sculpt is not really that bad for the Tommy. But I think people stopped talking about the Power Ranger figures because of that. But this figure is freaking amazing. I think this is the most perfect Goldar we got so far. Only thing I would say that pretty much lacks and why a reason it could have been higher on the list is because of the gold that they use. I feel like the gold could have just been a little bit more goldish. I mean, this one kind of feels like it's a little bit yellowish to it. Um, but other than that, I think he looks freaking amazing. I love like the head on here. He has the hair to go with it, the tails, the wings, the sword. It just looks freaking amazing. But he definitely could have been higher on the list. But because of the color, I feel like he just dipped out just at number 8. Going out to number 7, which I wanted to put him a little bit higher as well on the list, but he's another one that had just fallen out just because I feel like the other ones are perfect. And that is the NECA's Triceraton from TMNT. This figure is freaking awesome. I definitely gonna see a lot of people put him on their figure of the year list. Definitely when it comes down to it, whether it's number 10, number 1, number 5. He's missing his tail. I gotta find the tail, but other than that, he is freaking awesome. I just love his design. This Triceraton is a little bit different because this is the last Ronin Triceraton, but he just looks freaking amazing. I love like the dinosaur head that he has to it. He just looks like a dinosaur, just like the colors that they use for him. I think NECA did a fantastic job. The mouth is articulated as well. I love like the horns that he got. Then his like ripped up body as well, the big gigantic feet. He just looks freaking amazing. Just one of my favorite figures that came out this year. And that was my number 7. So imagine my number 6, which we're about to reveal right now. And this is one that is probably one of my favorite figures to come out this year. And he could have been definitely been higher on the list. But I feel like my number 5, my number 1 through 5, just slightly outbeats him, and that is Casey Jones as the Phantom of the Opera. He is freaking amazing as well. I love this figure. This figure, I feel like it looks like a premium figure. You know, he has the soft Gucci jacket that looks pretty good. He has the crazy looking face. He has the hockey glove with the skull on it. He has a hockey stick. And then there is the skull version that he came with as well, with the extra head. It just looks freaking amazing. I just love his design. I think this figure is freaking amazing. He definitely could have been on the list. But like I said, I think the only thing that pretty prevents him is NECA's articulation. That's why I feel like NECA, if they can improve on articulation, I think NECA would be one of the best figure companies in the business. But they are a little bit far from it because of, well, first off, the distribution is not always the best. And I would say, um, you know, uh, what else? Articulation just really prevents them from being one of the best companies out there. So if they can improve on that, and then availability, really, just getting the figures, it just takes forever for their figures to come out. I feel like I haven't bought a NECA figure since I think Phantom was the last. I believe that was the last release that I bought when it came out to NECA. So that's how long they haven't had came out with a figure. That's absolutely crazy as well. So there is that. But anyways, that is my number 10 through 6. Let's go on to my top 5 figure of the year watch list action figures for 2023. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, guys. So here is my number 5 action figure that come up for 2023 so far, and that is Doom. Doom Slayer from Good Smile Company, aka Figma. This figure is absolutely amazing. I just love this figure. He just looks like Doom. He is big and chunky, how Doom is supposed to be. I know there's the McFarlane. Now, I would say the only thing that is different from this one and the McFarlane one is, this is more accurate towards the video game. So I just love this figure immediately. You know, he has the big chunky legs, the big chunky arms. He comes with the freaking I forgot the name of this sword. But he comes with the freaking Doomslayer sword. Leave it down in the comment section down below the name of the sword because I don't know why I just completely forgot the name of the sword. But he comes with the freaking sword. Like, come on. Like, it's absolutely insane. I just love his whole design. And then my favorite part is like the helmet as well. He's just freaking amazing. Yeah, he's a little bit on the smaller side, but this is really accurate when it comes down to Doom Slayer. So that's why he is higher on my list because I feel like Figma did a perfect job when it comes down to him. Now my number 4 is one figure that I wanted to put a little bit higher on the list, but he just slightly fell off the top 3, and that is Storm Collectibles Liu Kang. I love this figure. This figure is freaking amazing. Obviously, it came with the 2-pack with the dragon. But I love this figure immediately. He just looks freaking amazing. The one thing I would say though is I would have preferred if they stick towards the face of the video games. Even though this is very accurate towards the early on video games, I would have preferred the MKX design and look, or even the design and look for MK11, because that Liu Kang, I don't know why. Just every time I picture Liu Kang, I either picture the movie version of him, the original movies, as I say, not the newer ones, or the newer versions of the video games when it comes down to Liu Kang. But this one is really, really solid. He just looks freaking good. He is really articulated as well. He can do his bicycle kicks. He is freaking amazing as the head freaking pops off as well. I would say that is the only thing that really stops this figure from being great is the head. Um, as well. And you know, he's pretty generic when it comes down to it. I mean, there's not really anything too crazy when it comes down to Liu Kang, but the accessories that he comes with are freaking amazing, and that's why I put him up there for number four. Now let's go on to our top three action figures watch list for 2023 to look out for this year. So let's get ahead and get into it. Now, my number three is one that I wanted to put a little bit higher on my list because I think he is freaking awesome. He might be on people's list as well. And he definitely could have made last year because I got him last year, but most people got him this year, so I put him for this year, and that is the Mayfex Soups. Now you're looking at him, you're like, "Whoa, what happened to his arm?" Well, you know, here's the other piece right here, um, and then my arm, the other arm, like, or there's a piece that actually broke off. That, and it wasn't the figure's doing; it was my doing. So it broke off. So that's why I gotta show him off. It's just like this, but this figure is freaking awesome. I love this figure immediately. He just looks freaking badass. He has the Superman cape. He has the crazy face. I think Mayfex did a great job of this figure as well. Yeah, he does lack the accessories, and he's really different from other. Honestly, the only thing I would say is I would have preferred him just to be a little bit more beefier. Um, and I think that's the only thing that really prevented him from being number one or number two. Other than that, he is freaking awesome. So I highly recommend picking this bad boy up if you still haven't picked him up, which I don't know why you wouldn't, but unless you're not a DC fan or whatever. But highly recommend picking him up. He is freaking awesome as well. So that is my number three. Now a lot of people might be not shocked about that one, but if you're following this channel for a long time, or you've just been following this channel, you would know why I put him number three. Because my number two is an action figure that it was probably my most anticipated one, um, and it is a figure that I wanted for a long, long time. He finally came out, and he did not disappoint. And that is Chainsaw Man. I don't care what anyone says. This figure is freaking awesome. He has freaking chainsaws for arms. He has a chainsaw for a head. I mean, come on, that is insane. I mean, just look at this whole design. He has the tie that just fell off, but he has the tie that's flowing off towards the side. And yes, of course, he doesn't have too much accessories, but the accessories are just put the tie right there. The accessories are the freaking chainsaws, and then it has blood on it as well. Oh my god, it just looks so freaking crazy. Now, as far as design wise, he is really, and I mean really accurate towards the anime or manga, whatever, whichever one you prefer. You know, he has the the big feet. Now, obviously, you're gonna be like, well, how accurate could it be? You just have a white shirt and black pants. But you'd be surprised on companies that would ruin or mess it up. You'd be actually surprised. But I don't care what anyone says. This is figure is definitely gonna be top three figures of the years. There's no doubt about that. So, spoiler alert for end of the year. This figure is definitely my top five. Um, so there is that. But now let's go on to my number one. I feel like a lot of people probably gonna know what is number one. Okay, guys, my number one action figure for this year is one that was announced so many moons ago. One that finally came out. Everybody knows what it is, and that is the '89 Michael Keaton Mezco Batman. Obviously, it's a figure that's gonna be top three, top five, number one for a lot of people. This is a lot of people's favorite action figure that came out this year. This is people's most accurate looking Batman, Michael Keaton action figure that ever came out. And there's no doubt about it. This is really, really accurate. I do have my faults with him, and I would say the rubbery suit obviously prevents articulation. To go down with it, the mouth was just a little bit off. The eyes as well was just a little bit off, and for my liking, but for a lot of people, it was perfect for them. So obviously, a lot of people disagree with my unboxing, which is definitely fine. But I definitely, I keep it honest. I keep it real with you down in the comment section. I don't hold anything back. If there's something off or there's something that prevents the action figure from being great, I'm gonna call it out. So I know a lot of people don't like that about me. Well, it is what it is. Anyways, though, um, yeah, this figure is freaking amazing, and that is my number one. So let me know down in the comment section what you guys think about my list. Do you guys agree? Do you guys disagree? As long as you keep it respectable, that's all that matters to me. And I would like to hear your guys' top 10 figures so far that you think is must-haves down in the comment section down below. I appreciate all the feedback. I definitely appreciate everybody who likes this video and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell so you don't miss more videos just like this one. We definitely got more unboxings on the way, so stay tuned. And the rest of the year just hyping up to be really great. We definitely got some crazy stuff. I don't know if you guys noticed, but Figuarts is definitely on top of this year, so stay tuned for that. Yeah, guys, Mayfex definitely coming out with more figures still coming out this year as well. They finally stepping it up. I feel like the only two companies that are kind of like falling behind just a little bit is Mezco. Is definitely Mezco's always been Mezco, and surprisingly, NECA has been. They need to bump it up just a little bit for this year. As far as the company to watch out for this year, once again, is definitely Figuarts. I think a lot of people sleep on them. I think they come out with some of the best action figures to come out as well. Obviously, a lot of people think Mayfex is some of the best, and Mayfex is really good. But I feel like Figuarts give you the bang for your buck. You know, they'll give you the 4 different face plates or head sculpts that you would want to get your perfect pose off. They give you these cool little accessories. They'll even throw in extra headpiece with your previous action figure. Like, I'm telling you, Figuarts is the company to watch out for this year. Don't sleep on them. DC Multiverse just got a renewal of their license. So shout out to McFarlane. Congrats to getting back this DC Multiverse line. Now I need you to pick up the pace like you used to. I feel like every other week it was like a new review or something. So we need Todd to get back on his horse as far as that goes. But surprisingly, no Marvel Legends on this thing, and that is because I don't really buy Marvel Legends like that anymore. I feel like they are probably, I hate to say it, I don't want to make any enemies, but I feel like they are not what they used to be anymore. So I think Marvel Legends need to step it up, dip that price down a little bit, then maybe you get me back on board. Other than that, not a huge fan. But anyways, guys, that is pretty much it. You guys have a wonderful, amazing day, and see you guys later.
They don't call me the main man for nothing.